The storm rolled across the flat plains of the Midwest, tearing through the night with thunderclaps and sheets of rain. Miles away, a streak of silver cut across the sky, disappearing into the Carter family's cornfield. Sarah Carter stirred in her sleep, half aware of the faint, unfamiliar rumble that shook the farmhouse. "Ben," she murmured, nudging her husband. Ben groaned, pulling his blanket higher. "It's just thunder, Sarah." "No, it wasn't," she insisted, sitting up. "Something hit the field." Ben sighed, tossing aside the covers. "All right, let's take a look before you drag me out of bed later anyway." They donned raincoats and stepped into the storm, the cold wind biting at their faces. A faint glow lit the horizon, growing brighter as they approached the edge of the field. When they reached the source, they found a shallow crater, steaming from the impact. At its center sat an object unlike anything they'd ever seen, a smooth silver pod faintly pulsing with light. "What is it?" Ben whispered. Before Sarah could respond, the pod hissed, releasing a cloud of vapor. Its surface cracked open, revealing a bundle inside, a child. The being shimmered in the rain, its skin a pearlescent hue that seemed to shift and dance with the faint light of the pod. Its large, luminous eyes blinked up at them, filled with fear and curiosity. It hummed softly, a sound that resonated through the air. Sarah gasped. "It's a child." "Not one of ours," Ben muttered, his voice thick with unease. The child reached out toward Sarah, its movements slow and hesitant. Instinct overruled fear as she knelt and wrapped it in her raincoat. "We can't leave it here," she said firmly. Ben hesitated, glancing at the sky. "Sarah, this thing isn't human. What if someone's looking for it?" "Then they can come to us," she said, holding the child close. "We're not leaving it out here to die." The Carters brought the child back to their barn, setting up a small makeshift bed in the hay. The child, whom Sarah began calling Lyric after the melodic hums it made, stayed close to her, its large eyes tracking her every movement. As days turned into weeks, Lyric began to adapt. It learned to mimic Sarah's and Ben's speech, picking up words with startling speed. Though it still hummed softly when it was calm, it began calling Sarah Mom and Ben Dad, sealing its place in their small family. They kept Lyric hidden from the outside world, fearing how others might react. Sarah and Ben taught Lyric everything they could, how to read, how to tend the farm, and the basics of human life. But as Lyric grew older, questions began to emerge. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Lyric stared out the window, its glowing eyes fixed on the stars. "Mom," it said softly, "why don't I go to school?" Sarah froze, setting down the book she was reading. "Well, sweetheart, we teach you everything you need to know right here." Lyric turned to her, its expression pensive. "But other kids go to school. I've seen it on TV. They play, laugh, and make friends. Why can't I?" Sarah hesitated, searching for the right words. "You're special, Lyric. People don't always understand special things. Sometimes they're scared of what they don't know. I don't want to be special," Lyric said softly. Ben entered, catching the tail end of the conversation. He placed a hand on Lyric's shoulder. "You may not like being different now, but it's part of what makes you amazing. And no matter what, you've got us." Lyric nodded, but the questions lingered. Years passed, and Lyric became a young adult, their alien features unmistakable but tempered by their human upbringing. Their shimmering skin and melodic voice still set them apart, but they had learned to control their appearance somewhat, dulling the glow when needed. One night, while exploring the barn, Lyric discovered something hidden beneath a tarp, the silver pod they had arrived in. "Mom, Dad," Lyric called, holding up the tarp. Sarah and Ben exchanged uneasy glances as they approached. "What is this?" Lyric asked, its voice tinged with confusion. "Where did I come from?" Sarah sighed, placing a hand on Lyric's arm. "We found you in that pod in the field years ago. We didn't know what to do, but we knew you needed us." "Why didn't you tell me?" Lyric's voice trembled. "We were afraid," Ben admitted. "Afraid someone might come for you or that you'd feel like you didn't belong." Lyric stared at the pod, memories flickering at the edge of its mind. brief flashes of other beings, their melodic hums harmonizing with its own. "Do you think they're still out there?" Lyric asked. Sarah's voice wavered. "We don't know, Lyric, but you're our child, no matter where you came from." Weeks later, their fears became a reality. The farm was bathed in an eerie, pulsating light as a massive ship descended silently from the sky. Lyric stood on the porch, its heart pounding as it watched the alien craft hover above the cornfield. "They've come for me," Lyric whispered. Ben and Sarah stepped protectively in front of Lyric as three figures emerged from the ship. They were tall and crystalline, their skin glowing with the same pearlescent shimmer as Lyric's. One of them stepped forward, its melodic voice resonating. "Child of the stars, you were lost to us, but now you are found." Lyric stared at the beings that emerged from the ship, their forms both alien and familiar. Their melodic voices hummed in harmony, filling the night air with an unearthly resonance. The leader stepped forward, its crystalline limbs refracting the porch light into a dazzling array of colors. "Child of the stars," it repeated, its voice warm yet commanding. "You were lost, but now you can return to your people." Lyric took a hesitant step forward, then stopped, glancing back at Sarah and Ben. I don't know you," it said, its voice trembling. The alien tilted its head, its crystalline structure shifting faintly. "You do not remember us, but we remember you. You were one of us before fate brought you here. We have searched the stars for decades to bring you home." Ben stepped forward, placing a protective hand on Lyric's shoulder. "Home? This is their home," he said firmly. "We raised Lyric. Where were you when they needed you?" The alien regarded Ben, its voice softening. "We did not abandon the child. The vessel was caught in an unforeseen anomaly and was ejected from our fleet. By the time we traced its trajectory, too much time had passed. But now we are here to reclaim what was lost." Sarah's voice broke through, trembling but defiant. "Lyric isn't just a child of the stars. They're our child. You can't just take them." The alien's hum deepened, a vibration that seemed to resonate with sorrow. "We mean no harm, but the child belongs with its people." Lyric stood frozen, torn between two worlds. It had always known it was different, but now it was faced with a choice it had never imagined. "What happens if I go with you?" it asked, its glowing eyes fixed on the alien. "You will learn who you truly are," the alien replied. "Your gifts, your purpose, your connection to the stars, it is greater than you know." "And if I stay?" Lyric whispered. The alien hesitated. "You will remain loved, but incomplete. Your potential will fade in a world that cannot nurture it." Sarah stepped in front of Lyric, her voice filled with emotion. "You don't need them to be complete. You've grown into an incredible person right here with us." Ben nodded. "They may have given you life, but we gave you a home. That's what matters." Lyric looked between the two worlds, one filled with the love and warmth of the only family it had ever known, the other promising answers to the questions that had haunted it for years. "I don't want to lose either of you," it said, its voice breaking. The alien hummed again, and for a moment, its tone was almost regretful. "A bridge can be built," it said. The leader of the aliens raised a hand, and a faint shimmer enveloped the three beings. They transformed, their crystalline forms softening into more human-like appearances, though their glowing eyes and faint shimmer remained. "We will remain here for now," the alien said. "You are not ready to leave, and they are not ready to let you go, but we cannot ignore the truth of what you are." The words hit Sarah and Ben like a punch. "You're staying?" Ben asked, incredulous. "For now," the alien replied. "This child is the bridge between two worlds. Together, we will ensure they are prepared for what lies ahead." The weeks that followed were tense but transformative. The aliens lived quietly on the Carter's farm, teaching Lyric the secrets of their biology, their history, and their unique connection to the stars. At the same time, Lyric remained grounded in the life Sarah and Ben had built, helping with farm chores, watching movies, and laughing at human jokes. The duality of Lyric's existence began to blend, forming a new identity that was neither entirely human nor entirely alien. One evening, as the sun set over the fields, Lyric sat between Sarah and the alien leader, now known as Cyan. "What happens next?" Lyric asked. Cyan gazed at the stars. "There will come a time when you must leave this place. Your gifts are needed among the stars, but that time is not now." Sarah's hand tightened around Lyric's. "When that day comes, we'll still be here. This will always be your home." Lyric smiled, the light in its eyes shimmering with gratitude. "I'm not ready to leave yet. There's still so much I want to learn, about both worlds." As the stars blinked into the night sky, the Carters and their unexpected guests sat together, a small family bound by love and the mysteries of the universe. Lyric's journey was far from over, but one thing was certain: it would never walk that path alone.